Hello there folks and welcome to episode 9 of the Neil Robertson Pro Career on Snooker 19. Of course, it's part 9 of season 2 and part 78 of the entire series. And today we start the semi-final, the furthest we've been in a tournament for a long time. We start the semi-final of the Shanghai Masters, potentially a real change of our form, of everything really in this season. It could be a real upturn in our form against the Welsh potty machine, Mark Williams. Now, we played Mark Williams twice in his career mode so far. We played him on the medium difficulty in the Scottish Open. Well, we won that tournament, so it's fairly obvious what I'm going to say next. We did beat Mark Williams in the semi-final. I think it was 3 frames to 2. However, when we went over to the hard difficulty at the end of last year, we did play him in the first round of the Coral Tour Championship and lost 3-1. So in terms of the head-to-head, it is 1 each at the moment. But a much longer game, of course, a game that's not going to be finished today. We'll play the first 7 frames today, make sure we've got a leader out of the episode, and then on Wednesday play the next 6 frames. Oh, hello. This is different.
It's been a tight competition so far. There's no
what on earth does Robbo look like? Well, I've obviously never been to the semi-final on this new update, so I haven't seen what all this looks like, but it's very fancy. And we've still got the handshake. It'll be brilliant to see what happens at the end of the semi-final, because we're meant to have these celebration sequences, so I'm excited about that. But as I've said, we're going to play 7 frames today, make sure we see what goes on. We'll get a definite leader after those 7 frames. And then in Wednesday's episode, play 6 frames. I mean, we should need that last episode. I don't think somebody's going to dominate that much. And then, as I've just elaborated to, on Saturday we play as many frames that are needed to get a result. Of course, if on Wednesday it's, say, 9-4, for example. Oh, that's a really good pot, really good start from Mark Williams, blimey. If we do get, say it's 9-4 to one player at the end of that episode, then of course probably by 1 extra frame, see if the match will finish there. But we'll just have to see how we get on, how close or how far away this match was. Now, of course, the last match was probably our best win, I've said, in our Snooker 19 career so far, because we took apart Stephen Maguire, really. He went 2-1 up, and then we won 6-2. I don't quite think we've had a result that good, or that dominant at least. He had such a good player. Bear in mind, you know, Stephen Maguire's top 16 player is a solid player. Not as good as Mark Williams, it has to be said. That I think that's a fair comment. But regardless, still a very good player. And we beat him by 6 frames to 2. So this is a different challenge, one you'd expect at the late stage of a tournament. As I alluded to at the start of this episode, it's the longest we've gone in a tournament for a long time. Probably since the Daffabet Masters, I think. Gotta blow my nose in a minute, I think, because for some reason it's getting blocked, even though it hasn't been blocked for ages. But as soon as I start recording, typically it gets blocked. Funny that. But Mark Williams had a very good start here. We did leave one little red. If we'd have been a little bit close to the yellow off the break-off, we wouldn't have left it, but we have. And not very surprising that a player like Mark Williams is probably going to destroy the table now, really. Not literally, but he's going to wipe everything off the table.
$27. $33.
As you might have expected, I've just gone to the toilet to get some toilet paper just to blow my nose, so that's why I didn't talk for a bit there, but I thought I might as well keep the break going, but we can fast forward this a little bit now, of course. But it looks he's very good on to win the first frame. That being said, that's quite a big of a mistake. Can he get to this red? Yeah, he can. Oh, he's missed it, though. Oh, well. Well, Mark, you had a brilliant chance, and he's fluffed that quite a bit now. I acknowledge we haven't got much of a chance here. But just try and eat into that lead and see what we can do. Let's try and get decently close to the blue. Because really what we're going to have to do is get the blue and then open up the reds. There's not that much of a risk from here doing that, because Mark would have won the frame anyway, basically. So we're going to have to give this a almighty whack. Worst thing is it hits the pink first, so we'll have to see how that reacts. But that is a good split as long as none of them go into a pocket. Oh, well.
Shot. Loss of
That's a
focus,
shame.
perhaps?
That's a real shame about that red going. I didn't think it would quite go, but it did. That definitely gives Mark Williams a chance to win the frame now, but I think you just have to take those chances sometimes. If that would have proved right, if that red would have just sat on the edge of the pocket, it would have probably been our frame. But if we hadn't have took that chance and played it very soft, then you could argue we could have had a safety battle, yes, and Mark Williams would potentially lose that safety battle. I'll acknowledge all that. But ultimately, you just have to take an aggressive shot sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't work out like that. And I think Mark Williams will win the first frame now, although the black is off, so it's going to have to be a bluey pots here, and that is not the best position at all. It's a big points gap we've got to get to, but he's played a safety there, so we'll have to see what happens here. Well, we can get to this red. And again, we might as well just go for this. Got to be careful. Too hard. Too hard, too hard. Do we get out of jail free, though? Do we get a get out of jail free? We might well do, with that pink blocking the red.
Tricky pot, no doubt.
He's going for a pot there. Well, that's a bloody good pot. Wow, fair play to him. That's what you're up against with Mark Williams. Cracking stuff. He's made a few mistakes, but as you can visibly see, they weren't that costly. We couldn't have really had much of an opportunity from them anyway. So I'm not going to get too gutted about that. But it looks like here, unless some miracle happens, that Mark Williams has took the first frame. At the end of the day, we had a decent break-off, but just left one red, and players like Mark Williams, that's all they need. But it's not like the best of fives that we usually play. It's a much longer match, plus the fact we can just get into it. We can lose the first 5 frames and still win the match. It's a tough one, but it's still achievable. So I hope that doesn't happen, though. But perhaps for those of you, I mean, I don't do this very regularly, but I think I ought to. Just to recap, you guys that haven't seen the series perhaps for a bit. We, in the first round, beat Ryan Day by, how many frames was it now? It was 6 frames to 4, wasn't it? Yeah, in a best of 11 in that first round. And then, as I've alluded to, we did beat Steve Maguire in the quarter-final by 6 frames to 2. Of course, in the semi-final, that frame counter increases. Did you just hit the wrong ball there? No, he hasn't. So obviously we concede the frame. There's no point buggering about trying to go for it here. Just get involved with the next frame. It's a much bigger chance. And then in previous tournaments, if you haven't watched this season at all, of course I recommend you go and watch those episodes back. But in the Riga Masters, which is the first tournament we played this year, we beat, was it Bassem Altahan? I think it was. Or somebody like that. I don't think it was him. Who was it now? I can't remember. It might have been. You might have to look back and see what... oh no, it was Hassan Fafai, I think it was. Yeah, not Altan. Altan's a lot further down the rankings. We beat Hassan Fafai in a best of 5. And then we lost to Yan Bing Tao. That was the end of that tournament. And then we played in the Poland's Classic, beat Graham Dott. And then lost to John Higgins. So it's been a very sort of stop-start season so far. But this tournament seems to represent a really good opportunity. Of course, it's only an invitational event, that must be stressed. But it's still good experience. We're going to go for this red, because I think it's a nice possibility. And it's there. A little bit tight with what we're going to pot next. Black won't quite go, so I was having a sniff at that, but no, that won't go. So it's just going to have to be a yellow, which I don't mind playing. Better than smacking the bottom, as I have said plenty of times in this series now. It's right, though. Christ, the blooming fans love this. It's nice to see a bigger audience reaction, I think, with this, because one of the complaints with previous patches, and again, I know I'm saying this late, but this is the first time I've got such a big round of a tournament in a while. Oh, that doesn't look good. That really doesn't look good. That's annoying. That's really annoying. Just as we start a break, and these reds are very clustered. Well, not clustered even, they're the opposite, aren't they, of course. There's a few opportunities here. I'm going to keep with the yellow, I think. Just try and hit it off the cushion. I don't think this is going to work.
He doesn't want to lose the white here. Could leave an opportunity.
No, we don't hit the yellow, and this does give Mark Williams a chance. So not the best form from us at the start.
I'm not sure what happened there, but that's a poor shot.
Not the best form at all, but he's just going to play a safety here.
Robertson,
I think, unless he's playing a ridiculous plant or something. No, he's got himself a little bit stuck there.
He's played that poorly.
Yeah, he has. I'm going to have a sniff at this one to the middle. I think we can just control this a little bit better. So we do get away with quite a few poor shots, which is great.
Nicely onto the colour.
1.
Which I suppose is what Mark Williams was thinking, really, in the last frame. But as is usual with these frames, you've just got to keep things very, very comfortable, very tight. It's the only way you can win these frames.
This looks relatively easy.
Screw back, look at getting the blue, but hopefully try and open up the black or the pink.
Position to take on a colour here.
8.
Get the black back on its spot.
So, this pot into
The
the
beauty
right
though,
corner.
it's all quite crammed, but there are lots of reds available.
Issues there.
So if you make a mistake, like we very nearly did there,
15.
there are other reds available, which is fantastic. It's going to be a little bit of a tight one. And the black, I don't think... No, we can't get to the black, so... Have to be a pink, which isn't really too much of an issue. Yeah, it's a little bit tight, I accept that. But I think we might go for the blue, actually. Seems a bit more sensible, I would say.
He's an expert long potter, and he's taking this on.
Let's have a look. It's there. Good pot.
Trademark long pot there. Such talent.
21.
Let's make sure we pull this back now. Be great to get it back to 1 each. Just means that any hope for Mark pulling out an early lead is gone. Which is, as I say, ideal for us. Gotta be careful here. You'll probably notice, especially in this match, there won't be as much waffling, if you like. I like to kind of make conversation sometimes in some of the episodes, but with this one, with the magnitude of this match, at the end of the day, we've won the Scottish Open so far, which is a fine tournament in itself. But this match in general, these 3 episodes this week, is going to be huge.
What a top pot that
So just bear in mind that, yeah, I might be a little bit less chatty than usual, but just focusing more than anything really on just making sure that we play our best and don't have any regrets. And that, well, that just sums it up.
Neil Robertson, 35.
You idiot. I thought we'd played that a little bit hard. Well, it's not cut and dry, but he's got a really good chance.
8.
You can tell I'm getting nervous as well. I'm not nail biting as such, but nearly close to it.
9.
It is one of those games that I think you definitely feel the immersion. Really do. Because ultimately, it's got the same permutation. I know it sounds silly, but it has. You know, your decision will impact a lot of things. It's not like F1 where you get plenty of chances, or football when you have plenty of shots. To a degree, it's a little bit like cricket, in that if you play one bad shot, you're out. In effect. But let's stop waffling about cricket and see how we get on. I am recording this the day after England lost the Ashes, so not best pleased with that, but there you go.
23.
So he's still remarkably 12 points behind. It was a bit of a better break than I thought, actually, that was.
30.
4 reds left, 2 on the cushion. This one should go... Oh, that's beautiful. Really impressive. The only thing he might struggle with here, which I'm a little bit of the jinx on sometimes, because I say, well, he will struggle with this and then finds a way to make it look easy.
36.
These 2 reds, of course, on the cushion. He'll get to this red. He's finally took the lead, so he'll get to this red and a colour. But I can't really see how he's going to get onto these reds.
To take on a colour here.
Unless he just stuns through and whacks these. No, he's not. He's going to go for a safety, which might well give us a chance.
Williams, 40.
Not much of one based on that shot. Regardless, though, we still do get to come back to the table, which is important. And that's not bad at all. Just going to play this up the table. We can try and play side and get to one of the reds, but I don't really see the point. I'm going to go for a half chance here.
Tricky shot here.
Missed pot.
It's not there, and is that going to be crucial? Oh, that's annoying. That really is. I was just thinking for a second there we got away with it because it was pretty much straight on with that red. But hitting the black was the big jinx really there. If we'd hit it a little bit harder, we'd have got 3. And if you'd have been behind the bulk colours, it would have been fine. But ultimately, you can surely just play this to the top pocket, top right, and he'll have no problem from there,
Pop this into
I would
the
say.
right corner.
1.
And what's really going to happen now? To lose 2 frames to Mark Williams this early on, it's not great, because this could really develop a precedent.
6.
As I've said, if he goes and wins 3 in a row, 4 in a row, but 5 in a row. But we can't think like that, ultimately. We've got to get our heads screwed on, make sure we win a frame or 2 ourselves. The aim now is just winning our first frame. Because I think our best snooker comes when we have the mentality that we just play frame by frame. It's no good thinking, well, it could be, well, let's say 5 each. So this frame doesn't really matter. Every frame matters, of course it does.
21.
And it really does already, because we're already on a chase, really. We're already got a 2 frame deficit. It's going to be tricky. It might happen. We just might get the rub of the green where
32.
the next 2 frames go our way and that lead is gone. But against a player like Mark Williams, that is going to be pretty tough.
39.
But let's see. We've still got 5 frames left in the episode. This could very much swing either way. I need to tell you that.
That's extended his lead.
As long as it's not...
This is worrying for his opponent.
yeah, as long as it's not
Opportunity.
6-1 or 7-0 to Mark, I can cope. That's going to hit the yellow, isn't it, annoyingly? No, it's just about going to skim it, but that's a nice shot. That red being a little bit more forgiving and getting close to the pack that time. Nice red.
Playing the safety and aiming to get the cue ball
Just a safety,
right
yeah.
against the cushion.
Hitting the 1 red, that could be... ooh, get away with that, luckily. I'm just going to play this into the pack then, in that case. There wasn't a fat lot more we could have done. Oh, he's opened up the reds a little bit there. That's an interesting move.
He'll be trying to get the cue ball safe here.
I mean, we could play a really opportunistic shot, but I'm just not going to bother. There we go. Let's just get it nicely free of the reds. And see what he plays from here. It's a little bit bad to say, it's a little bit thick. He's got to get this right. As he does. And he's been a bit crafty here because they're going to have to just play this thick and hope for the best. Because we don't want to leave that red on the cushion on particularly. That's okay. That's okay. Great. I'll take that. The danger was we could have fallen easily into that trap of just playing a thin safety and effectively and being very close to that red on the cushion and taking it on. So we didn't fall for that trap. That's going to be mightily close. That might just go into that pocket. It does. Well.
That's a foul.
Foul. Neil Robertson.
Well, I think we'll play on from here.
Play on here.
Attempt really just to try and get a bit of a snooker, but from this angle it's going to be a little bit tricky with that black being so close. And we've hit the black, so that's bloody marvellous. Great. Really could do with getting this behind the blue. That being said, black does make things complicated if he was going for a pot, so that's a bit of a get out of jail free card. Ooh, can we play a bit of side and get on this red?
Brilliantly played.
It's tempting, isn't it? It really is. We've got to get this exactly right. And you know exactly how I am with getting accuracy. But I think this time it's just worth going for. Come on. A little bit hard. Is that going to make a difference? Oh, there's a clap. So it has gone in. Tricky to see, but it could have just cannoned off the black. I wouldn't be too surprised. So we have got our first pot. Of course, already got 4 points due to
Looking to play this
that
with a
missed a
lot
I mean, this is a
of
little bit tight to be going for a pot on, actually, on reflection. Trying to get this to avoid... Ooh, actually, I'm glad I checked that, because the black's on the cushion. That could be a real problem. Let's just play some top and just hope for the best. We're not in the best position here. It was always worth going for that pot, though, of
That could be
course.
better.
Of course it could have been better. It's going to be a tricky shot from there to make anything work.
3.
And we'll just play the simple, let's get this up the table sort of safety. Up bulk. Just hits the brown, but luckily the reds are quite... They are very much condensed now.
3.
Clustered, as I said earlier. And I think this safety battle's been nearly as long as the other frames, so... It's one of them. You have frames like that. Oh, didn't quite want to hit it that hard. That would have definitely been a mistake. It's tricky to get a snooker, really, with these angles. Decent safety, though, there. Interesting. Gets that right back into the pack. It does mean there's a little less risk involved with playing a shot here. Because there's not one on the cushion anymore, which is great.
Really interesting test of their safety skills.
Let's just get this up the table. Fine with that. That's really fine, yeah. And we have snookered Mark. Well, or he's deciding to come off the cushion, but I think we've snookered him. Did he hit the pink first? No, he didn't. Well, he's got away with that one. Goodness me. But he hasn't got away here with not leaving a pot on. And we're going to give that an almighty whack.
Not sure what happened there, but that's a poor shot.
How can you give it an almighty whack like that and still not get away with getting out of there?
1.
I mean, ultimately, we're not going to get to the black, so there's no point looking at that. Ugh. It's just been sloppy so far. When everything went with us in this last match, it really doesn't seem to be doing that so far. That's really annoying. I think... I don't like to be unsportsmanlike. But I'm tempted just to concede the foul.
Pace is key.
Alright, we'll try. What we'll try and do... We'll go for the pink. But most of all, we'll try and get this safe. Which I think is a fair thing to do. So, quite a fair bit of power. Probably won't hit the pink from here. I mean, it was bloody close. That was really close. But that is suicidal hitting that middle jaw.
Really the result he was after.
So that wasn't great at all, and Mark Williams got a chance. But you just have to give it a go sometimes from those snookers.
Mark Williams.
Of course, he's going to play on himself, and it just seems we can't really give an excuse. We haven't played well enough so far.
6.
But this could become pretty awkward very quickly. Okay. I'd say Mark will clean up this frame. I might be wrong, because the reds are pretty condensed. It's whether he can get into those.
12.
Not really the level of control he was after there. Lost the cue ball a little.
13.
Interesting. I mean, I don't think quite that they've exaggerated a little bit there. But I can see what they're saying in terms of a long-term break. He's got to make something happen fairly quickly. Still very much in the early stages of this frame, but that can be changed very quickly with a good split here. That is a good split.
24.
And I think if I was a betting man, I would go for Mark Williams to win this frame. And particularly in this episode now, the first 7 frames, it's going to take an almighty comeback for us to be leading this. But as I said, as long as it's not 6-1 or 7-0, I can take being, say, 5-2 behind. And I said earlier I shouldn't look forward.
31.
You know, we should look frame by frame. But ultimately now... Oh, well, hang on. See, you shouldn't look amazingly because
31.
this could be a chance. That's quite a howler on the blue and really just leave a few bits on. That's a bit of a shocker for our comrade.
He's aiming for the left corner.
This is
here.
a tricky one. It's just the best positional shot. Well, I say it's the best positional shot. Actually, that's pretty handy on the black. Really not the effect we tended to have.
1.
I'm going to take the black on from here.
Very tricky shot coming up.
There you go. Easy as you like.
Top draw.
That is why you get fight frame by frame. I wasn't being too pessimistic there. I think we were being honest that that frame was more likely over. But this now is a bloody huge opportunity.
He's looking to pop this into the right corner. Excellent pop.
That kiss on the red didn't ruin things particularly. Not made things very easy though, admittedly.
Great opportunity to get back into the match.
It is, I agree. I really do. Good black. I do agree with you there for once, Folds, because
16.
obviously it's like a football match, like any series, anything, any competitive situation.
To sink this
2-1 is a fat lot better than 3-0, for the obvious reasons.
That's an excellent pop.
17.
So we need to focus on making that a reality rather than, well, this is a good chance, sort of rhetoric.
24.
We've really underdone that. That didn't help. Yeah, we've underdone that, and I'm just worried that I don't think I fancy that, really. Because this could go anywhere. I feel that's just about right. Well, let's give this a go. No, it's nowhere near. That's really disappointing. I don't know why I just didn't use my head there. Well, it is going to be... I mean, that's just stupid. What did I do that for?
Neil Robertson.
We have had odd episodes like this, and I hate them. Because they can be really crushing. Because on some days, like we played against Maguire, we played really well. But today, we just haven't showed that same ability. Frustrating, very.
6.
Okay, so will 2-1 be a pipe dream? Annoying if it is. Because as I've just said, if we're 3-0 down, it's a fat lot worse than 2-1. Okay.
He's got nice.
And I'll keep saying from okay, I'm just trying to
7.
figure out this situation and what we need to do. Because this could spiral without any sort of thought very quickly to a 4-0, 5-0 situation. Because really, I'd say Mark's got this wrapped up now. And as I've said, this could very quickly, very easily be 4-0. Before we know it then, it could be 5. And that's a really nasty sort of precedent. Because when we get to that, we are really chasing things.
Outstanding pop.
Good pot though, that was.
That for a positional shot. Superb.
And unfortunately, even now, I don't like to say it, but I think we've got to get on with it. If we don't win the next frame, it
This
really
is a
doesn't
big
look
shot.
good for us.
This
It
goes in,
starts to
you
look very
fancy him for the
painful.
frame.
27.
And when you're this amount behind, like Maguire was really, you can't take the chances.
39.
Because ultimately what happens, you take less risks.
Great pot.
And you can't play a natural game. But albeit, Mark Williams is 3-0 up. In a best of 5, it would have been arrivederci to our chances. But albeit, it's not, because it's a best of 19.
Excellent cueing.
the comeback was proven by Mark Allen in the World Championships against us. He was 4-0 down. He won the match by 13 frames to 2. 13 frames to 12, sorry.
And the frame.
So the comeback is very easily done. Oh, well, not very easily, but very achievably done. Again, Graham Dott against Stuart Bingham. Very nearly did it in the World Championships. Bingham, I think, was he 9-1 up this year? I'm talking about real life now. Bingham, I think he was 9-1 up, and then Dott brought it back to 9 each. So it's achievable. But as you've just visibly seen here, we're not going to take the same risks as we would. We're going to go for the pot, obviously, but not bother to try and get into those reds like we would usually. But that's quite a weak break from Mark Williams. A little bit of a shock there. But because we haven't gone into the reds, and we've really ended up lopsided on the blue to what we'd want to be, then we have got a bit of a problem here for making a break. So we're going to have to give this a good almighty whack and hope for the best. But really, that's nothing, really. But what I always think about these little breaks, kind of like a mini break, like these breaks, which you can't really classify as a break, but I always think, well, it's 6 more points than we would have had if we hadn't have got the break, and ultimately it means that 8 points maximum couldn't go to the other player, as displayed there. So it has its ups and downs. It's a bit of a thick one, so he's got to get this right. He hits the yellow. But, I mean, in some situations, that could have been catastrophic. He really gets away with it, though, there. Best situation, of course, behind the yellow, but it's very tricky to, get that off the... Because it'd have to come off the cushion by the yellow and then come behind it. That would be very plain risky, there, I would say. Just a safety battle, though, still. I'm confident we can get this frame. Mark just seems to be a little bit wary at the start of this. That being said... we still need to win this. In these type of matches, I think the reality is that
So he's looking to play safe again.
when a player gets into the balls, that they're not really stoppable. That they can win a frame. So these little encounters at the start of a frame are crucial. Really are. That's going to be thick. That could be a mistake. But again, a good safety. Impressive. Oh, no, that's not going to go. That ain't going to go. Again, if we were 3-0 up, I'd be very tempted to take that on. But this time, no thanks. A bit harder than we'd like. Okay, he's got a chance here. If he wants to go at it. A long pot, at least. Nope, just the safety. Shows me that he's not all that confident. To me, anyway. Just says to me, Mark Williams isn't the most confident player. Because if he was, you could call it stupidity, I guess, as well. I think he'd have gone for that pot. We are going to just try and play the most awkward safety in the world here. If we come back up without hitting a red, it's a bloody miracle, and we have. Now, the question is, as always is here, is there a gap for something to go? We tried our bloody best. Is he going to go for this? I don't know if he went for it or not there. I think he did, because he's left quite a big chance on for us. But is it more of a tempter? To tempt us to be a little bit stupid? I think it probably is. But we need to work this out to not be stupid here.
But hasn't really worked out.
Oh, for crying out loud! This is... genuinely, this is really starting to annoy me now. There are points where I love this game. Absolutely adore it. But on points like that, it really starts to get on your nerves.
He doesn't want to overhit this.
Because really there, I think we're massively unlucky. Now, we're nowhere near the yellow. And we probably got the snooker of some sorts. That was really... we just overdid it, basically. Overdid it slightly. If not, it was a tight one, I accept that. If we hadn't have overdone it, we'd have been beautifully
Neil Robertson.
on the black. And we'd still be playing.
4.
And he's now got his first red.
1.
I think a lot of this has been down to us. It has, definitely. It's not been the fact we've been unlucky. We're not playing our best game. But as I've said, this could turn pretty nasty pretty quickly. It already is, I'd argue. But that is, again, just get the look of the draw sometimes.
No.
That's highlighted there, but that isn't the look of the draw. Well, well.
4.
Mark Williams. That's a shock. I really wasn't expecting that.
Well, he's taking it on to the left corner.
We had a chance last time out. We didn't take it. We've now got another chance.
Excellent shot.
And I said, I was only saying a few minutes ago, wasn't I? That once a player gets into the reds at this calibre, they're very unlikely to be stopped. In the last 2 frames, I think that's happened 4 or 5 times. I am going to give this an almighty whack because we want to avoid what we've done before. But even then, with an almighty whack at 84%, which in normal circumstances would throw the red up and down the table, we're not still comfortably out. Pink there, good pink.
14.
Let's have a sniff about, see if we've got any options. That could be an option, definitely. As I've said previously, I do play my snooker a little bit differently to the usual. People like to get in patterns, etc. But me, I just like to go for whatever's there. You could say it's a bit of a laissez-faire approach. A laissez-stupid approach. I did do French for GCSE, and I cannot think what stupid is in French.
Well played.
Brimming with confidence and on a bit of a roll at the moment.
21.
I said I wasn't going to ramble though, didn't I? And now we're talking about me doing French at GCSE. Something that I thought, to be honest, if I had to compile a list, something that I definitely didn't ever think would come up in a Snooker 19 video, but it has.
22.
That's another one off the bucket list, eh? Right. Let's cut the crap. Let's get on with it. Right, yeah, that should be fine. A little bit of a risk that, actually, I'm not going to take that risk by going for that red, because
He's looking to pop this into the left.
if we aren't on the red and it's not comfortable, then we've got no other choice.
Great queuing.
So
there.
it's this red we're going for here.
27.
Only a break of 27. I mean, it seems like a lot more. It does sometimes. It really does. If you have to work a lot for it, it does seem like a much smaller break. That's going to be a much better opportunity to get onto that red now. Get a lot straighter on it anyway. We need to sort out... I mean, that's poor.
33.
We need to massively sort out our accuracy in terms of
Well, he's looking
percentages
to
we're
pop
hitting
this
things
into the
at.
right corner pocket.
And that was fairly close. That wasn't far away.
Nicely done.
That's a wonderful, wonderful.
We're wrong side of the blue though, so we're going to have to go for the pink a little bit reluctantly here. Okay, that should be okay.
Corner here.
Pot's there. We've overdone that a little bit.
He's left that a
That
little
being
bit more
said,
than he would have
yes,
liked.
that red will get to the middle.
40.
Well, he's
You know, I'm not a
taking
big
it
fan of my cutbacks. And I'm talking about snooker, not the economy.
Position looks very good here. He's played that very well.
Right. Yes, we have played that well. But again, this is a little bit of a pain in the bottom, so to speak. Let's just have a look. Obviously, the pink's there to reference at the moment, so we can reference the pink again. Just have a look. If we come up to this cushion, what's the position going to be like on one of the reds? I mean, that's not going to happen. We could do with being down here, but that's not a position, as you can visibly see, that's going to be really
Just wants
remotely
this one
possible.
to drop into the pocket.
Okay. Yes, that gives us the most control, that green. It will only leave a half chance for this green, but it's one that could be decent.
44.
And I think that's going to be about there. there or thereabouts anyway. Moves a few reds, that's the
Not
most
an easy
important
one,
bit.
but a half chance.
And it is there, great.
Brilliant shot.
He couldn't
I'm
have
funny
played
like
any
that. I'd rather play that shorter shot and get the red rid of than play a cagey shot within the reds.
The long pot's on, and he's going for it.
We do look good though here for the 4th frame, which is marvellous.
Oh, wonderful shot.
50.
I think my good friend Captain Goodspeed said once, she's absolutely right. You don't get comfortable in a game until you've won your 1st frame. Edge, I think's absolutely right.
That should be it. No real way for his opponent to win
course.
the game now.
As always, make sure you go and check out Joe's channel. I mean, most of you here will already know who Joe is, because he's basically just the king of the snooker community.
Now,
In terms of
drop
YouTube,
this
anyway.
into
Oh
the
god,
right
I might
corner.
get fined by somebody for saying that. Maybe a certain Reddit group, but let's hope they're not watching. But, yeah.
56.
Go and watch his stuff. As I say, I presume you already do if you're here. But from what I'm aware of, there's only the 2 of us making Snooker 19 content now. Again, could be massively wrong. If you are somebody making Snooker 19 content, leave it down in the comments. I'm more than happy to give somebody, an upstart, whatever, a bit of a shout out, because we all needed those back in the day. That's going to be overdone a little bit for the red. Isn't it? Isn't it? Is it? Isn't it? And we can still get to the reds, that's okay. So we'll just play up to the red, and then call it a day. A little bit of a shame we couldn't clear the table, but it happens like that sometimes. In this situation, we were 3-0 down. I'm quite happy just to get a frame on the board.
62.
And we have. That's our first frame on the board. Is it the start of a comeback?
And that
Probably
is
not
the
in this
frame.
episode.
Well played.
It's going to be tricky. But as I've said, I will take, and I think that's probably going to be the most likely outcome now. I will take a 5-2 at the end of this. I would really take a 4-3. Really would. If we got to 4-3, I'd be amazed. In terms of to Mark Williams, I don't think we're going to win this 4-3 now this session. Again, if we did that, I'd really be amazed. Can be done, though. It's a chance.
This is a half chance.
It is, correct. It was only a half chance, but we've done it. Oh, that's a bit dangerous. But again, we do fall a little bit gullible for those shots sometimes. And then really can't get into the reds. So let's try this out. Oh, for goodness sake. It was a fairly straight pot, so if we didn't hit it that accurately, where's that cue ball? Do not go in. Oh,
That would be frustrating.
God.
Foul. Neil Robertson.
The good thing about that, he doesn't leave that much on. And he's just going to go for a safety, but that is cruel luck. Really is. Okay.
He's playing the pot here.
That's a really
That's
good
a little bit better, though.
It's a real opportunity.
Again, I do like my half chances. And on that occasion, it really worked. Just a horrible luck, really, with that cue ball going in. Tried to play the positive shot. Sometimes doesn't come out like that. Again, another bit of positive news. The pink's been shifted. So we can have a good run of blue and red. That will make a decent break of us. And then we can look at exploring what's next.
Nicely positioned for the blue here.
7.
I'm not going to put the pink back on its spot just yet. A little bit awkward there because we come a little bit lower on the blue, but that being said, it should be fine. Does make this shot a little bit awkward though. Again, control's a big thing, but that being said, I think we can probably get a blue for blue to top pocket here. That's probably our best chance. But we have touched the other red, so that does make things a little bit harder again. We're not making things easy for ourselves today. Really not. It's all about control though, as I've just said. That's something we need here.
What a fabulous pot that is.
He'll be happy with that. Top
Get this
shot.
one off the cushion gone.
18.
Actually, no, let's not. Let's get this one gone, because those ones off the cushion, as you well
Playing for
know,
the right corner here.
can really go wrong. And you feel like a little bit of a prat if that goes wrong. Blue not on really here,
19.
but we do have another red available. Is blue on here? Yeah, it is actually. It's a little bit easier than I thought it would be, so we'll have a sniff at that.
Well, no surprises here with the long pot attempt.
There we go. We're pretty good with the blue. A lot of our play involves the blue. I've said it time and time again, and I'll say it again. It doesn't really matter what colour you use, what colour you like.
He does it.
As long as you get the balls in and are comfortable playing that, then I don't see a problem.
Position looks good for a colour.
Some people say, no, the best ones stay around the black. Well, they might well do. I don't.
He's just looking to drop this in gently.
Because my control, I'm well aware around the black is poor. So
30.
I'll occasionally get it within the black. But if I'm not comfortable doing that, then what's the point? Again, another lesson on philosophy and ethics. We've had a lesson of French.
That's a fabulous pot.
What else have we had?
Position looks pretty good to me.
I can't remember now, but we've certainly had philosophy and ethics. That is a little bit of a weak shot, though. I'll accept that. So we're going to have to take a real leap of faith here.
Very tricky shot coming up.
Oh, we've missed the blue. We've missed the blue. We've missed the blue. Ah, and that really was uncalled for. A little bit of a tight angle. Again, those usually work. You just don't use your head sometimes because you're so confident. And you would be naturally after potting ball after ball. You get familiar and you get comfortable at the fact you're going to pot everything. And then you don't. There's the odd ball you don't pot. And these reds are very comfortable now for Mark Williams. Just to give a nice tap to and win the frame from here.
Really well played.
As I say, it happens. But we've been shocked before. I'm well prepared to be shocked again in this frame. Because without saying, though, of course, that I do apologise for the longer video length. But as I said, it goes without saying that it's 7 frames. It's one of the longer episodes of the season.
17.
So it's going to be like that. You know, I don't see the point of making highlights of these matches because snooker is a long game. It's the whole point of snooker. None of my episodes are short by YouTube standards. You know, a lot of YouTube standards suggest 15-20 minutes is the perfect length. But
25.
since April, all of my videos have probably been on average over 4. Oh, that's good. They seem to have glitched that angle from there. Yeah, pretty much all the episodes from April have been over 40 minutes generally.
Mark
But he's
Williams,
missed that.
30.
He's had to play a safety there. A bit begrudgingly, I would say. So do we get a chance? He snookered us on everything but this. That is the stupidest shot ever. I was looking at blocking those 2 reds, which we did. But it's come straight back over. I thought, oh, we might get away with it. But we really haven't there. Really, if we'd have played a bit more screw back, we'd have been fine. But we didn't. We made a mistake there.
Red.
And he's got it.
1.
It does amaze me, though, as I was saying, that... I mean, we are pretty much... what's the date today? It's the 9th of September. So, in a week's time, this time next week, we'll be 5 months into this series. 5 months.
Just wants to sink this.
The longest series I've
corner
done,
pocket.
ever. Oh, well. He's missed the yellow. I mean, oh, and you jammy git.
He's aiming
You
for the left
jammy
corner here.
little sod. Swine.
Beautiful.
Wow. If you didn't see that, he missed the yellow initially, come off the cushion and potted it. You jammy git.
Not the best shot.
10.
You need a little bit of luck sometimes, and clearly he hasn't got that here.
10.
Crafty git. Still can't believe that. Let's try and separate these slightly. In fact, that's done the world of good. Come on, play beyond the yellow. Get one bit of luck for us today, please. That's pretty handy. This frame's still very much in the balance. Oh, ho, ho, ho. That's a nasty shot from Mark Williams.
He's going
Bad
for
one.
the left corner pocket.
Come on. Drop, drop, drop. Yes.
1.
We're back in the frame, ladies and gents. Let's not get all cocky, though, now, shall we? I was thinking about giving this a whack, but to the middle pocket, again, that would be just stupid.
No, not this time. Close, but a miss nonetheless.
What?
6.
Are you alright there? I know it was close, Hendon, but there's no need to be like that. Man, this is the bloody tricky one. This is a lot closer to the cushion than I ever realised. Oh, we just got to take it on.
What
Yes!
a shot that was.
Oh, we were confident in our abilities and it worked. Well, it was a stinker from Mark Williams. It's not all over though yet, so we're going to shut up for a minute.
Well, an excellent
I've been guilty plenty of times of, on both sides of the coin really, going, well, frame over, match over, etc. And then it changes. I hope it doesn't here though. That's a very good yellow and nice position on the green.
14. 17.
So we've just gone ahead with that green. Brown puts us what? That's that 7 points ahead. Yep. So we do need blue and pink.
21.
Just checking. Does this go? Yes. That's absolutely fine then. I think Mark Williams has got to be kicking himself. I mean, I know it's not all over yet, so I need to shut up still. I can leave all that pre-verb rubbish
26.
until after. Now, that is probably the worst positional shot I've played in a long time.
Just the pink required now.
Still confident, though. There we go. We were right to be confident. Because, ladies and gents, that is the frame. Mark Williams has got to be gutted. 3-0 up. We've brought it back to 3-2 for now. And with a break of what looks like to be, if we miss this, we should be shot. With a break of 39, clearing up the colours after his poor safety, we have brought this back to 2-3, or 3-2. And basically, we're back in that 2-1 position, aren't we? One frame behind.
6th frame.
I'm very happy with that. Especially considering we were 3-0 down. I will still take 5-2. I'm still very well aware that, I mean, that's another shocker from Mark. And this time we will try and open up the reds.
Playing this with a lot of power.
It's there.
Opening red.
Open up the reds a little bit, that's good. Again, confidence is a big thing in snooker. I will still take 5-2 as I've just said. Because I know how good a player Mark Williams is. But it would be great now to make that just a little bit better.
Very well played.
I mean, ultimately, there's only 3 outcomes. There's 3 frames left, so there's only 3 outcomes. There is the 5-2 I've just mentioned, which, again, as I've said, I'll take. There is the 4-3 to Mark, which, again, I'll be happy with.
7.
And the 4-3 to us, which, well, I would find that pretty impossible. Especially after the start we've had. But my God, I'd take it. So what I'm saying is, any outcome here of the first session, I'm pretty happy with. Now, admittedly, I wasn't going for this straighter red. I really wasn't. This can be one of our stupid mistakes again, where we just misjudge it.
This should be pretty straightforward.
I'll have to find out. That was pretty close. It was just that red hanging over the pocket that worried me.
18.
That's a little bit loose. Let's just get the angles right though now.
We know what a prolific long potter he is, so I'd assume he'd take
Underscrewed
this
that.
one.
Underscrewed that.
Now that's a top shot.
Yeah, played it well.
18.
He's going to take a bit of a good shot from here, I would say.
He's attempting to sink this into the left corner pocket.
It's there though.
That's
As
a
I've
beauty.
always said, our potting game is good.
Simply wonderful.
It's that red that hangs over that pocket that's a stinker. Really is. Right, let's get screw back on this. We're not too much. Of course, we're going for the red that's hanging. Not over that pocket, of course, but the one that's outside of the rest of the reds, this one. Which really is only a half chance. As I've just said. But we've took the half chance. And that's the kind of luck I'm talking about. Previously, I genuinely think it is the look of the green. I'm sorry, but it is. The rub of the green, rather. Not the look of the green. You know what I meant. In previous frames, you'd have gone into the pack. Flipping hell. Yes, I was very close to a curse there. Stupid, stupid. We've done that plenty of times and got it right. Oh, you tool. I know I said I'll take 5-2. I didn't mean it. Not after that, anyway. Right, let's see what Mark can do. That was just stupid. How did we miss that? Because we had a really nice opportunity. A few reds had opened themselves up.
Nicely played.
But clearly that rub of the green went very quickly. But admittedly, we should have potted that blue. It's one we've done plenty of times. It wasn't a particularly tricky shot. But he's opened up the reds further. We'll have to see how he gets on.
$17. $24.
This pint of squash has lasted throughout this match so far. It's a miracle.
25.
Levels of scores, though, does Mark Williams in this frame. I'm kicking myself. I really am at the moment. Not literally, of course. But that's very frustrating. We had a real chance there. And by blowing the blue, we've done it a few times. Although he's just played a safety there. That's an interesting one. Because that safety really hasn't worked. It hasn't worked, so I was just saying. That's interesting. Is he trying to put us in a trap here? If not, we're gullible. Because, well, I'd simply put, I do not know what he's done here. He obviously lost position. I wasn't really focusing. He obviously lost position. But then, hang on. It's not took us long to lose position either. Because that brown's hanging over that pocket. There's nothing easy here. And you can't get past that brown. You can from the other side, of course, but that would take a pretty good green. It's going to have to be that green, though. Unless we just try and get a safety. Wouldn't be a particularly bad idea, would it? Yeah.
If he plays this shot well, he'll have his opponent in a spot of bother.
Let's hope it does go well. That ain't bad. Wasn't too bad, although, yeah, he can see this, unfortunately. Worth a go, though. But he's not played that well again. And there is a little sniff here. And I only need a tempter. I only need a tempter to fancy.
This won't be easy.
Not an easy shot at all. It looks good. Line looks good. It's there.
Tremendous pot. Brilliant.
Right.
1.
You know what I'm like when it comes to this? You really do. We buggered this up last time. We made a stupid mistake on the blue. We are not going to make that same mistake again. As I've said, long-term viewers of this series know me. They know what I'm like. Can't make the same mistake twice. We've been given a second chance here. It's fate. Hopefully, in a twist of words, a bit of a, not a tongue twister, but a twist of words anyway, it will be fatal to Mark Williams. I don't know if those two words have any relation. I'm not a linguist. Again, French, philosophy and ethics, linguistics. An hour we've I mean, could you just imagine me rambling for an hour? I don't really talk that much usually. That's probably why. We're going mad here. Just venting anything I can think of. Get that pink though. This really needs to go up to the cushion.
He seems full of
It kind of does. Just tap this in.
He just wants this to drop gently into the pocket.
22.
That made me a little bit queasy, to say the least.
Tough shot coming up.
Now, this is a tough shot and will put us in a really tricky position. I accept that.
That's okay, I think. Not ideal, though.
It's not ideal, correct. It's tricky playing that pink to get this into a good enough position. But looking at it, it's a pretty straight pot.
This is not easy.
Come on. Let's get the rub of the green. Yes, it's there. Right.
That's just brilliant.
Right, can we get this brown out of the way? That's going to be crucial, I think, honestly.
29.
And means actually, no, I'm not going to play that brown. Because thinking about it,
This pink
it would mean that he could level the frame. Looking at where the yellow is, it's only a half chance. At least with that pink, we've secured the frame barring snookers. And of course, that, by the way, means that, unbelievably,
Just the colours remaining.
we've brought it back from 3-0 down to 3-3. Oh no, that's overdone. That is overdone.
37.
So, what I'm saying, it's not 3-3 just yet. Long pot, I think I fancy here. We might as well go for it.
He's taking this on.
I don't think that's anywhere near. No. Okay. Well, we've won the frame effectively.
Neil Robertson, 30.
31 ahead, 25 left. He's going to put up a battle here, definitely, though. Going to put up a challenge to us. Which I accept, fair enough. But we want to get out of this fairly quickly, so I'm going to try and take this half chance. That could be good. Oh, just a shame it didn't hit the cushion a little bit later. Or else we'd have really had him screwed, if you like, behind the green. Behind the brown, even. Again, bit of a half chance. A bit less than a half chance, I think, though. No, not quite. I don't really see how he's going to get this green out of this position and not potting it. I think he might have to just take the plunge here. Have we snookered him? Well, I don't know, but that was a good pot. But he's just going to try and play this behind the brown. Which I'll just reply with, fair enough. Whatever. Because he's 28 behind with 22 remaining. 6 is the gap. 1 or 2 snookers. Depends what ball it is. Has he left the brown on? Has he left the brown? No. Double could be a chance, though. Go on, go on, go on. This could be lovely. It's not quite a snooker. I don't think. No, it's not, but it was a good shot. And that's not quite a snooker either. So. We can't quite get this behind one of the colours, so that's a bit pants.
Tight on the cushion.
To be frank. But that could be a decent shot. It's right on the cushion. It's comfy.
tricky pot coming up.
I'm about to say he was never going to go for the pot. It's just the risk that he might well snooker us on one of these occasions. And I don't like that. Avoid the snooker at all costs, basically. You know how terrible I am at getting out of them. Oh, just hoping that wouldn't hit the blue and we'd get behind it. He's making us work for this, which I do not blame him at all for doing. Because I certainly would, if it was my opponent.
This is no gimme.
But I think that's pretty much game over. That is game over, I would say. Because we've got the brown, it was a half chance. Just chuck the blue away. And I think he will give up there. Of course, is it a 10-point gap? No, it's a 32 ahead. 18 remaining, yeah, 14 points. So,
Frame, Neil
In, I think, very good circumstances, very impressive circumstances from us.
No advantage at the moment.
We've bought this from a pretty
Thank you, the 7
poor, very poor,
Neil Robertson.
3-0 down. After making a mistake in that third frame to make it 2-1. We've actually made it 3 each, which I think is pretty impressive if I say so myself. We have left one on though here. But he's missed it. Is this just a changing of the guard in this game? I do wonder. You do wonder. Luck does come for either player. I think it definitely balances out over a 19 frame game. But as you saw in the match against Stephen, when we got going in terms of winning frames, we were pretty unstoppable. If that's the same here, then great. Although, I mean, we've got 2 reds, 2 blacks. That was good. But we are going to struggle now to really achieve anything massive
He'll play this with plenty of power.
with this break. We're just going to have a real whack, though, here. Just hope for the best.
Would you believe it?
Yeah. Rubbish. We touching ball by any chance? I don't think we are.
16.
So just play up to this.
Neil Robertson.
That's
16.
fine. Oh, bless me. I'm going to keep that in. Special features. The Hour Plus Club.
If he underhits this, it could end badly.
It does amaze me, really, how these videos are over an hour. Because they don't seem like that. Most of my other videos are sort of 20 minutes, half an hour. Ooh, that's a good shot. That's very nice. Fair play.
He looks like he's trying to get the cue ball tight on the cushion here.
No, not tight. Well, it could be. I was more looking to try and get it behind one of the other balls. It's failed a little bit at that task. We have got a little bit of a lead in this frame. He's lost his cutting edge, I would say. That's a poor safety. Which, again, I'm not going to moan at. Really not. Let's just make sure this goes in, shall we? Yes, I think he's lost his cutting edge. The first 3 frames,
Half a chance here.
he was great. You know, he didn't really make a mistake.
Great pot.
But,
Well, he couldn't have played that any better. Superb.
as you've
positional
just
shot.
seen there, and what's happened a few times now, is that
Quality cueing there.
Mark has played a few pretty poor safeties, actually, it has to be said. Giving us a chance. And, of course, a chance that I'm very happy to take. So we have got a chance here to pull off the,
Left him a little
certainly after 3 frames, pull off the unthinkable. That's not the best shot, though. Just hope this bounces off the cushion and gives us a little bit of a chance.
12.
The only solace here is this, that I mean, if we miss this, it just leaves the one on that we're playing. Which is something I say quite a lot. Okay.
He fancies this red.
It looks about there. Not too many risks involved. The reward's certainly bigger than the risk.
Unbelievable.
And it's there. Great.
great positional shot. He'll be happy with that.
13.
This needs to go right. Let's just double check this blue goes. Yeah, I'm fairly confident with that.
High quality play here.
Good
He's
split.
found some form, that's for sure.
Would that have happened last
18.
when we were 3-0 down? Well, not 3-0 down because we won the frames, of course, when we got to 3-0 down. But in those frames that approached the 3-0 down, I do wonder. But this is the sort of form that we need on a consistent basis in consistent tournaments, especially in those shorter frame tournaments. That cutting edge from the start and finish things off. That's our problem, I think.
24.
If this would have been a best of 5, we'd have been out of it. ultimately, if it had been a best of 7, we'd have probably bottled this. But because the permutations aren't so big, we can take the risks. So,
25.
what I'm saying is that we need to take what we're doing now, once we've actually got into the game nice and comfortably, and transfer those skills to doing that straight away. Or else in those shorter tournaments, we're just not going to do it.
30.
And as I've said previously, we just haven't got the time to do longer tournaments all the time. I think you guys could probably appreciate that. I mean, at the moment, I'm not in work or anything. I'm effectively doing this full time. But when I do get into work, I mean, it's not a tough schedule. I definitely wouldn't say that. It's an achievable one, but when I start to work and all these hours start to eat up, and of course, in effect, these are hour-long videos, especially the longer ones,
37.
like this, it starts to become a little bit more cumbersome and eats up your time, etc. So that's what I'm saying. In the long run, these long tournaments are going to be a little bit of an impossibility.
That's ended up more awkward than he would have wanted.
Bit awkward, but okay,
38.
it's fine. I can accept that argument actually now. So we got a bit lucky. Yep, we do. That's fine then. Jolly good.
He's finished a bit awkward here.
Still can't believe, I mean, again, I don't want to jinx this because it's not all over yet. I still cannot quite believe that we could honestly win this frame and be ahead after 7.
That should be it. No real way for his opponent.
You know, I feel a bit sorry for you guys who turned off midway through. Because you'll turn on, say, Wednesday and think, how the hell is he 4-3 up? He started that... Right, let's just shut up for a minute. That was a sitter.
Robertson.
Again, I just get a little bit too confident. It's not all over yet.
Fabulous pot.
Apologies about the blowing nose.
1.
Again, after the hour mark, I might as well leave these things in. You're the loyal viewers, and Mark Williams is a pain in the arse. Oh, God. I mean, pot that ball. I mean, we've just missed all the reds. Great. So, it's not as simple as the fact it's 4-3. It's going to be 4-3 to somebody.
Not what he intended, and to be honest, I'm not sure what his intention
He's going to
was.
play on here.
Foul.
But it's a long way back still for Mark Williams. I mean, it wasn't great from us, that wasn't. We should have just sunk that red.
Nicely positioned for the black.
1.
And we'd have been, what, 69 ahead with 61 remaining? But he's tried to snooker us again, the little sod. Again, don't blame him, I'm not moaning at him.
Mark Williams, 1.
He looks to be playing the swerve shot here.
He is, correct. I'm just taking this a little bit more relaxed because he is still... Well, there you go. 62 behind with 51 remaining. Of course, because he didn't pop the red. I didn't think about that. But unbelievably, we're going to stop that there and go back to the main menu before he breaks off. I'm staggered at that. I really am. Because,
Thank you, the 8th frame.
as I've said,
To break.
from the start to the end of that, there was a real middle point where things turned round. That is quite unbelievable. I'm just glad it's gone in our favour for once. But this match still, of course, can have plenty of twists and turns. But just in that first session, there have been plenty of them. Mark Williams has got to be gutted, I think, personally, because apart from the basic fact he was 3-0 up, he was dominating. We had no chance. We got pretty pessimistic. We were talking about, well, we'll take a 5-2. Well, it's 4-3 to us at this point, and we've really got the advantage now. So join me on Wednesday. I'd love to carry on for another 7 frames, because we've got the real momentum now, and it seems a shame to stop, but ultimately it's a long enough video as it is. But yeah, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. I'm sure you, if you've stuck around this long, you'll definitely come on Wednesday, because we've got a crazy episode coming up. It's going to be absolutely bonkers. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, as usual. I really appreciate you guys that stay sticking out for the long haul. I really appreciate that. But join me on Wednesday for that second session of the semi-final. And who knows, there's 7 frames to go. If we win 6 out of those 7, we get through to the final out of the last session. Well, no, we're only playing 6 frames, so scrap that. If we win all of the frames in the next episode, we'll get through. But I don't quite think that's going to happen. I can't see that myself. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting match. Plenty of twists and turns, plenty of frames to go. And as I've said, that result can change very quickly, as it has today. Mark Williams leading from the start, really until the last second. And then we took the lead. So that just shows how things can change rapidly. Thank you very much for watching. One of the best episodes I've done so far, I think, in terms of overcoming Mark Williams in those 7 frames. But we've got 2 more sessions to go. Join me for those on Wednesday and Saturday at 6 PM. Thank you for watching. Won't keep you any longer. It's already been a long enough episode as it is. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later on. Goodbye for now.